Hello everyone, Jimbo here. Just a quick announcement before we get started. In this episode when recording it, I had quite a few internet issues because I was recording somewhere else. Not at my usual place where I stream and record the podcast generally. And also there's a few sort of like audio issues that was happening between us. So just make you aware of those so you're not thinking it's your side or anything like that. It's just a few hiccups in terms of some of that I couldn't quite correct altogether in post-production. But nonetheless, enjoy episode 39 of the When Dirt Cast. Enjoy. Hello and a warm welcome back to the When Dirt Cast, your podcast about all things concerning the Metaverse Football League. As always, we're your hosts, Calvinator and Jimbo, and together we're going to discuss latest MFL updates, transfers, developments. You know the drill, all the great stuff happening in MFL over the last 7 days or so. One important note before we fly into things, none of what we chat about is financial advice, it's certainly not. Do your own scouting or hire a director of Metaverse Football. Calvinator, my man. You had a good week? Been good for you?
Definitely had a good week. I think we had a couple of amazing streams. Maybe we should talk about that. Well, you had 2 streams. Yeah, I joined 1 stream, so we'll talk about it. But I think the most excited what I'm about this episode is that we have another guest. And also a very special guest, another Mogul. So we're going to meet this Mogul, another one of our Meet the Mogul episodes. Someone who's very passionate about the game. He's also passionate about football real life, Gunner. And he's here to tell us all about his vision on the game, NFTs, everything. So please welcome Embrandon. How are you?
Hey guys, doing great. Excited to be on the pod finally, and yeah, episode 39. Can't believe it's been this long already.
Yeah, we're approaching 40 and then 50, some couple of nice milestones down the line for us.
Absolutely.
So it will be very cool to chat to you later about your vision on the game, and of course you also join us for the updates. It's all our guests do. But I talked about the stream and the drop, so maybe we should quickly talk about that before we dive into the updates. So we had 2 streams. I joined the big drop, and then we had a bonus drop. So the bonus drop stream actually? Yeah, and so, I found out as like kind of an old guy that you can rate streams. So it was very interesting.
Yeah, the streams. It was really great this week. So on Tuesday we had what we thought was the final drop before season 0.6 like leagues kicked off, right, or just afterwards. And which was great. You got like amazing viewership, chatting, engagement, all that sort of piece. So for all of you who got involved with that, massive as well. We also did a When Dirt Cup, the 4th iteration, and congrats to Iviarx, pronunciation is not my forte. We all know that. But congratulations to him for winning the 4th edition of the When Dirt Cup. 32 of you signed up, I think, within about under a minute, which I think is just nuts timings and stats on that. And then Calvin and I woke up Wednesday morning to announcement. We're doing a bonus drop. And we get message in our little channel. Do you guys fancy streaming that? I was like, bloody hell, guys, give us less than 24 hours notice here. It could have been nice. And I was like, yeah, I've got time. Let's run it. Unfortunately, Calvin, you couldn't be there. But in the chat, we put F's in the chat for you. I think one of the first comments when I first started was like, "Where's the good looking hair?" or something like that. Everyone was missing the hair. But overall, though, both streams I think were really, really good. And I think we could just see by some of the stats involved with some of the viewership. Ooh, voice crack there for myself. Apologies. Some of the viewership stats. God.
Were you able to join the drop, Calvo?
Yes, I did quickly, like just before 11, grab my phone. I actually never bought a pack before with my phone. So we talked last time about some tactics for drop. Maybe this is a hack because on Tuesday I missed out on the PC with my tactic of waiting. I didn't get a rare, so people were like, team wait is a lie. You're lying to us the whole time. But now I was team wait on my phone and it worked. I got a rare pack. But it was not the best rare pack. I even filmed it, but I think I don't want to release the footage of
I
that
was going to say, I've not
76
seen that
right
footage
back
yet,
coming
mate.
out of it.
Was it a goalkeeper
Yeah.
75 rated?
No, it was like a right back 76, 77. So
Not terrible.
it was not terrible.
28-year-old
but,
sub 50 pace, you know.
my reaction when he came out was like not so good to show to the world. So let's not upload that video. Yeah.
Last week, my rare pack had two 28-year-olds, the uncommon and the rare. So that was
tough.
fun.
I think that's probably the first time I've ever heard someone unpack a 28-year-old. I've not seen one on stream or anything like that. So
I've unpacked 3.
oh well, that's where. Well, thank you for taking a hit for the community there.
Exactly.
Maybe you can start a new.
If anyone wants my left winger, he's on sale for $60-something. I don't know, 76.
Maybe you can be the first one with a stone team with like older guys. You have people with stone teams with like under 18. You can maybe 28 stone.
The Vets League.
Like 28. the vets. Yeah.
I hate it too because he's English and I should want to keep him, but he's so old. It's not worth it.
We age like fine wine, mate. He'll be a phenomenal player.
Give him a home.
Are you just a quick before we go into weekly updates? Are you a hashtag team refresh or hashtag team wait?
Always team refresh, baby.
My man, team refresh, baby. Let's go.
I think that team refresh got more followers during the drop, kind of, but.
We'll get into it with my story, but I got really into refreshing with Top Shot. That was it's second nature now.
Oh, I think it's where that came from, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So little teaser for later in the episode. Yeah. So let's start with the episode. So yeah, later you're gonna tell us all about your experiences and how you got into Top Shot. Spoiler alert. But yeah, there's more to it. So we're gonna hear your story there, and let's start with the updates. We already talked a little bit about our drop experience on Tuesday, but we also ended the preseason tourney and the leagues, of course, have kicked off. So how did your teams do? Are you happy, sad? Any emotions?
I'm angry, but I'm only angry at myself. So the first game of the season, my second club, my very first competitive game, aside from the preseason tournament of season 0.6, I got whooped 5-0 and I was 3-0 down in 12 minutes using the new 4-1-2-1-2 narrow formation. And I was just like, right, let me just go get a drink quickly whilst the game's on. Came back 3-0 down. I went, cool, can this season get any worse?
Oh,
yes, it can, because 2 games later, I was woke up in the morning and thought, who am I playing today? Let me change the lineup. Changed it. Forgot to come back to it and change it. So I was playing a 3-5-2 with my centre back, playing left mid with 32 rating. I think I was winning. I was far stronger overall. I was winning, and then the last minute I conceded from that left side as well. So I don't know what that centre back was doing all the way at left mid with a high defensive stat. Clearly wasn't at the back post for a cross. But and then the Wyverns, I thought we were doing all right, and then we got whipped 3-0 yesterday. So I think they're like 3rd or 4th. Then my second team's second bottom. I think I've already been in the league already after 3 games.
So times are tough.
But
the cup is starting.
Like
Right? So maybe.
Yeah, focus on the cup. Focus on the cup now.
Some cup luck, maybe. And Brandon, yourself, how's the start, the league?
0.6 going just about as expected. So I mean, I had an amazing season. 0.5. 4 of my 5 clubs won the title. Still don't know how that happened, but yeah. It was crazy. So I have a 6th club now. I know we'll talk about some of my other stuff and my strategy and my portfolio, but this season, not so great. I dedicated some of my players, loaned them out to Diamond, and we're sitting middle to bottom of the table in most of my clubs, but that's all right. We'll get better.
Okay.
It's a long season to go.
We're all off to a
bit
of a slow start
as well.
Yes. Well, I won 1 preseason tournament with Aaron Cole and Navigators. That was nice. And the flagship, the flagship, well, the pirate ship, the Casablanca Corsairs. They won 3 and lost 1 because I'm in a league with 11 teams, 11 gold league. So that's pretty good considering they ended like 9th last time. So I'm happy with that. That the flagship is doing well, and apart from that, I think regular. So for me, it's pretty okay. But for you guys, then times can get a little bit better. That's what I hear.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So to be continued next week. Hopefully some positive changes. Okay, let's talk about the dev updates and then maybe hear some of your reactions to this. So of course the 2 drops happened. There was one slight issue with multiple users being locked out. So that's also not, let's say you are team refresh and you refresh and then you're locked out. That is very unfortunate. And you lose valuable time, so they will investigate this further next week. Also, players have been minted for this extra drop and also for Tuesday when the store opens. There need to be supply of players for that. And of course, you can only buy them with MFL. Some technical things about the programming language, so Cadence 1.0 update. That work on it has resumed and they're trying to get it ready with that language. About the engine, 4 new formations. So Jimbo, you already mentioned some new formations. So we got 4 new ones have been released. 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, 3-4-3 with a diamond, 5-4-1 flat, and 4-3-2-1. So they have been...
Jimbo, you've been using those. Have you been using it, Calvo?
No, I've not experienced with them at all. And my teams are also built for certain formations I'm already using, so I would have to do some work around maybe next season. But
that's kind of how I feel too. I saw the new ones, which I was super excited about, but it didn't work with the guys I had. I'm too lean, and I don't have the extra personnel to make it work.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is the issue, that you build your that you have like guys on all positions or like backups on all positions, and then it just doesn't work then with the new formations. Okay, let's continue. So this update solely includes the new formation, does not impact simulation. That's also important to notice. And Quentin also has conducted some research to reduce the occurrence of some extreme results, maybe some upsets, and he's working on improving in generally the realism of simulation. About player progression, the team has made good progress on it this week. They keep making good progress, also improving the test coverage, implementing new mechanisms to prevent some bugs. Leaderboard enhancements, we have not seen it, but there would be some changes coming soon to display additional information like country, city, Twitter account. So that's pretty cool to see that in like one big overview. And finally, some back office improvements to easily set up leagues for like Lucas and Matt, etc. So that's also good. So any reactions? Not maybe too shocking.
Let's cut straight to it. We're all just excited for Tuesday when when we can finally use our MFL for shops. Yeah, I think it's probably the most standout piece of information that dev updates. Are both of you going to be using your points?
Well, I already spent 140k on 2 rare packs, so my whole balance is being drained pretty much. I still have some money for 2 uncommons, so I'm gonna get uncommons. Yeah,
it's been an interesting strategy because I know that there's been a difference of opinion of people using it during the last 3 drops, but then also some saying, "Why are you wasting your points if you can't use cash in the new player drops?" So I've kind of done a little bit of both. I bought a rare pack with money, but then I bought the other rare pack with my MFL coin. So I've used a little bit, but I still got enough, and I'm just debating, like, do I still splurge for that Lego? I got 402,000, so I got just enough for a Lego, but I think I gotta go rare. It's I get multiple chances at some luck, maybe an 82 to an 84 here and there.
Or a
But
75 keeper.
if I packed an 85 goalkeeper in that Lego pack, I'd be pretty mad.
Yeah, it's pretty risky, and for the same price you can get 5. Yeah, how many? Like 7? No, like 6.
Like 6 or 7 rares to a Lego. Yeah.
So I think that is. Yeah, imagine you got like a grandpa goalie, 85, and some very exciting young talents in the 80s, like 17, 18, 19. So yeah, I think it pays off to. Non-financial advice, but to do that.
It's part of the dilemma, though, that you guys, I think, talked about on the last pod, which just, are you in it for the value or are you in it to build your team? And so I mean, the talent pool is non-existent at the top now. Like everyone's already spoken for. And I mean, seeing Claire go for crazy money, like that's just indicative of how competitive it is at the top, which is amazing to
True.
see. But it's also, it changes the strategy for how you have to buy in.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's see what the store, how people will spend their coin there. But also, I think for me, it's nice to not spend too much like real life money. Let's say more the in game that feels very good. That your bank account is not plundered. So okay, time for the season update. So let's look first maybe at what happened in the preseason tournament in Tier 1, the highest tier, and then at the Diamond League with 10 teams. So that's also exciting. I almost forgot who we said is going to win, but Dio, DFC Pisciano Milano, he won the preseason tournament, Tier 1, against 3 plat sides. So the Diamond team beat the 3 plat sides who were all in the semi-final. I don't think that's too surprising. Actually, Embrandon, is it one of your teams in there? Is or not?
That is
right.
North London Novas,
Yeah.
is you, right?
Yes.
In which one are we even talking about?
The preseason tournament one.
Yeah, I didn't do so hot, so I think I forgot
No,
that I
you
was
got
even
smacked,
in
my
that
friend.
group.
You got smacked in that semi.
Well, you did well because you can reach the semis then, apparently. But Dio then
That was
beat you.
my second team, I think. Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. You're right. I did get to the semis, but it's so hard because the preseason 20, it's only one reward. And so if you're not in the final, like, did you even make it out of the group stage? That's kind of how I felt. It was hard with so many teams. Like I was still trying to figure out how I was setting up each of my teams. I was working on like moving 3 or 4 of my guys, and I think I lost track of even how well I was doing. So actually, yeah, that's funny. I
Well,
wasn't even paying attention to that.
yeah, but you lost to the winner, and
I
as a plat
did, I did,
team.
yeah. No, it seems like no matter what, each season I face Dio at least 3 or 4 different times on 3 or 4 of our different teams. So, and I get a jab here and there, but overall he definitely comes out on top more often than not.
But it also shows for me that your platinum side and the other platinum sides, they're pretty competitive with diamonds, right? If 3 platinum teams reach the semis and only 1 diamond team, it's pretty
It's
interesting
fun,
for
yeah.
me
No, it's
for promotion coming up. Let's say it will be very interesting. A lot of
it's gonna be very, very challenging. I think it's gonna be a really big dogfight at the bottom of Diamond and the top of Plat, just to see. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of flip-flopping, I think. I think there's gonna be a lot of moves made. I think there's just gonna be a lot of strategy. And I mean, whether it's, a couple of seasons from now, several seasons from now, it's gonna be interesting to see what the engine looks like and how the market looks when that.
yeah. But those tournaments are fun to really see the comparison between those teams and you can see it's pretty competitive. So in the league we see Meta Mercenaries and Basel 1-2 and lost 1. They have 6 points. They're topping the table after 3 games, but it's still very close. Most teams have 6-5 for only Fantasy Gaffer's team that he manages, SV Berlin, has 1 point, and Club Atletico Tango 2 points. But it's all still pretty close, and from what I saw, some games that were lost were pretty much like, kind of an upset, some little upset. So I think it promises to be a very exciting season in Diamond, where multiple teams can walk away with the title. So what do you guys think? Any interesting things to see in Diamond?
Yeah, well, I mean, that first match day, Ortier beat Fantasy Gaffer 5-1. I think Ballers lost, and then I think Meta also lost in the first match day. And we were like, what the hell's going on here? Like, 3 underdogs have won. Some of the biggest teams have been beaten. And just to repeat what you said there, Calver, it hopefully foreshadows that this season's going to be one of, twists and turns where we don't see the same top 3 or same top 2 this season. Let's have someone else. Let's have it. Maybe Ortier comes up with some Leicester City thing where you could argue him not participating is him fighting and scrapping for relegation, then suddenly he wins the league next season. What turnaround that would be?
I mean, he's sitting fifth in the table. It's looking really good right now. And I mean, Basel second is tied for first with Mercenaries, just on goal differential. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I'm sad right now because I mean, the two teams that I have stake in I mean, BFC, I have a couple of tokens, but then also one of my big things this season was, giving Gaffer some guys to play with, and so I stripped some of my top guys on Novas, and I was really looking forward to that opening day, and then they get shellacked, and it really changes the game, and then it's a long season, but it's not looking good right now.
Although I have also, well, we share that, let's say, my only legendary is also in that team. So I'm also following it with more interest now. But it was really, those stats were really kind of unfair. If you looked at the stats at face value, let's say should be a draw. And he got like hammered 5-1. And then in general, Orche was a bit smug, like, haha, I beat you. I was like, I don't know if I should be so proud of, like with those kind of stats. It was more a bit like
I love
very
it though.
efficient.
I love the talk. I love the
Yeah.
competition, and I mean that's what we wanted from this season, was just to see
True.
Diamond
Yeah,
As long as
where
he
it
can
should
take
be.
it afterwards. Yeah, as long as he can take it afterwards. Like if the reverse fixture ends up being 6-0, if Gaffer gives it back, which I'd hope he would do, if
I
Orte
hope
can't
so
take that,
too.
you've got to if you can give it, you got to take it as well, sort of thing.
So it's in all fronts it promises to be a hot season in Diamond, both with results and maybe some trash talk happening in general. Okay, I'm warming up my voice already to shout out a ton of new managers again who joined this week. I can't promise anymore that it's a totally complete list because Salesbot is going crazy and we have so many new guys joining. But I think I have a pretty good list and also some nice shout outs to do this week. So, new managers, we have Witepik Lebabo Jago Sentenza, and he pulled a legendary, by the way, from one of his, I think, kickoff or standard packs, so very nice. Taleb, we also have a Jax. I don't know if that's like we had like Busco and Bosco. I know Jax and Jax, so that's like some similar names we're gonna see. Denisheur de Pepite, Salim 1160, El Gringo Loco 93, Sandman, Valdo, Yoga 57, Bruzel, Balbo, Matlanark, Tyron, Nicola, Lamella, Sassori, Ricci 96, Volconique, Foosball Wizard, Ben 18, Latour 8, Mif Salvatore, Wine Mac 408 Sauce, X Dave 29, Andres Barça, and Raquel. And then I wondered how many female managers are actually in the game. If Raquel sounds like a girl's name, so I was wondering about that. And also, when I checked all those new guys, loads of Belgian and Italian wallets. So maybe there's a little network effect going on there. And also the Italian chat I see is way more active. So we had already French chat and the Spanish chat being very active. Now Italian also starts to wake up. So that is lovely things to see in the community. Translation effects. Yeah, maybe that is the thing, the key. Translate and communities bloom.
It's been great. I'm so glad that they focused on that this year, because I mean, yeah, it's tough sometimes, especially for you guys with like the pod, and I mean, props to you, Jimbo, translating the quiz. But like, it's challenging. It's
Oh
challenging
yeah,
to
Calvin won't know this. Yeah. So
Did
Calvin,
you
the
really
quiz on
translate
yeah.
it?
Thursday.
He translated
I
it to
went through
Wow.
French.
each 30 questions. I put all the questions into French as well.
I'll
Obviously, a lot of
tell
the
you,
answers were like
it
digits, so I
didn't
didn't
it
need to do
didn't
that.
it didn't stump me, but I know Big Will was real confused for the first couple of questions.
Which
Wow,
one do I
that
read, the
is
French or the English?
that is sheer dedication.
But no, I mean the translations have been amazing, because it really is like it's unlocking just something that's global, and allows us to all enjoy the same thing even if we don't speak the same language. It's been awesome.
There's no barriers to anyone playing from those countries. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's quite some talk again in ideas and idea board about adding nationalities or adding more languages or like Chinese, Indian.
I
Like,
still want I want my Chinese players. I know that crypto isn't so hot over there, but I still want, as a half Chinese guy, I want my Shanghai team and a couple of Chinese guys to build a team.
well, let's see. Well, it will be really good to have way more nationalities, and then getting maybe the Chinese market or the Korean. I think Indonesian would also be really cool. There's really loads of football fans, crazy football fans there. So let's see. I also have a new user or two new users of the week. The only one in Brussels, because one of the first things they did is buying a bronze club straight away. So that's a pretty ambitious start, and I like to see that. Some active manager shout-outs. I saw Bosco bought some more Ukrainians for his development sites, so that's also lovely to see. Groovy Lizard, I saw his name so much in the sales bot. A lot of common, uncommon, really kind of building out his agency. Kinshu, Gary, Sam 100 and Larui, loads of rares. Duff, Crazy Cold, Big Wilbert, Frajoko, Ajem, Metaverse, Kinshu, they all bought legendaries. Also quite some legendaries again changing hands this week. And clubs, we saw one really big thing. First, let me start with some other shout-outs. So I saw Dane bought two new stones. Dio bought a new stone. Trust the Process, some stones. Fantasy Gaffer, Steph, Not Me, some iron clubs. Falcon Squared on the bronze. Sam 100 and Gary, some people who joined maybe in the last month. They both bought a silver club, so also showing great ambition. But of course, the big club splash is Abraham Martin. He bought a Plat Club Istanbul, Turkey for 535. So that's massive that there's another manager joining Platinum. So what do you guys think of that one?
Can't wait to see what he does with it. I'm ready for the extra competition.
So how many are in both Plats now? How many teams? Do you know, top of your head?
Ooh. Let's go quickly check.
So
We got
20.
10 in League 2 and 10 in League 1. So 20 of the 24 plat licenses are in club play right now.
Yeah, so he will be 21, 20, and then only 3 missing. So that's a pretty good rate. Yeah, that's approaching very high percentage. Okay, I pass the ball to you, Jimbo, for some really exciting things.
Yeah, so we had a couple of splashes, a couple of trades this week. Just to start off, I think we saw nothing. I say nothing major legendaries being thrown about. It's still a major thing, just legendaries being chucked around. But I know Bucks for Life and Dane had a little bit of a swapsy, 285s going or 185 going either way, and then we saw our good friend, one non-MFL NFT being exchanged for a rare. I think that was Guitarero and Clo. So Guitarero received a one non-MFL NFT. Interested what these are. Just this mysterious NFT. But yeah, a couple of legendaries thrown around. A bit like ragdolls. But bit you're all excited for. Splash of the week. And we've got Big Wilbert to thank for this one. Big Wilbert went a little bit of a spree. I think it was Thursday actually, just picking up like 2-3 legendaries in one day. He just thought, F it, I'm just gonna scoop them all up. Must have got a nice bonus at work, maybe some commission, something like that, So he spent $975 on an 88 rated centre mid, a cam, and a CDM, triple position. So a guy from Saudi Arabia, so I've no doubt I'm going to butcher this name as well. Javed Sheikh, something along those lines. I'm like with pronunciations, but $975, probably one of the big purchases of the week. I think I actually had on the air table, we had quite a few. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 legendary purchases this week, which I think was pretty impressive.
This is a really nice splash. I love this player, Big Wilbert bought. He's like so versatile. Like he can play a cam, a CDM, a CM, and he is also super well rounded. So he has both the high defense and the high shooting and that passing of 97. That's just nuts. So yeah, so really versatile guy you can use all over the midfield, central midfield. And amazing passing, so you'll always do well with that passing stat. So, really nice splash.
I feel like the other wild splash collectively from all of us is We just hit 100,000 in a month for player purchases on the MP, which is crazy. I mean, we hit it yesterday. We have what, 5 days left in the month, and it seems like we're gonna double our highest ever month prior.
So maybe, Jimbo, the splash of the week can also be the community, like a bonus splash.
Yeah, community splash. I love that. I actually doing. I sort of this bit off the pod, but I might include it anyway.
We have how Dirk, although Dirk, we can just be very quick. Let's just do very quick. Like, he played 3 matches, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 yellow, 0 red. Rating, between 7.8, 6.8. So let's say very average to bad week for Dirk.
Classic Dirk, really, isn't it? Classic Dirk.
Classic Dirk. Exactly. League is not his thing. Cup is coming up, so let's see next week. Maybe is he really the cup fighter? That's like he has gotten his reputation. Like, let's see if that's really the case. Then to finish off the updates, why Dirk? And as always, we have our top 3. And Embrandon, I heard you are very well prepared to make some changes in this. But Jimbo, maybe you can update us first. What is the current top 3 chocolate bars?
Top 3 list, which when I said this on the stream on Thursday, everyone was... A few people replied in the chat saying, I've unfollowed the stream now because of that list. And I went, well, actually, why are you unfollowing the stream? Because it's your community that's making that list. It's got nothing to do with me and Calver. It's a community list. But that top 3 will go from 3rd and make our way upwards. Number 3 is a Cadbury Marvellous Creations inputted by Palmer, who was our last guest. 2nd is a Twix Peanut. And 1st, I believe it was Sturgeonator who put a crunchy in there. Which had a few reactions on the stream on Thursday. So, and Brandon, you know the drill. Any of those chocolates you can replace with one of your choice. What's it going to be?
As my English player collecting rival, I think I have to replace Sturgeonator's number 1. So we're gonna kick out the crunchy, and we're gonna go with the 100 grand bar. Do either of you even know what that is?
Never heard of it. 100 grand bar.
It's the Ferrera Candy Company owns it, and it's chocolate, caramel, and like a Rice Krispie base in the middle for the crunchy.
So it's a bit like Ferrero. You said Ferrero, right? It has the same
Yeah.
this balls, but then more.
It's
like
no, but it's a full bar. It doesn't have like nuts or anything in it like that, but it's got like a Rice Krispiness to it.
And I also heard through the grapevine that you, well, actually from you, before this episode, that you like veggies a lot.
Oh yeah,
So
no,
you're a veggie fan.
I had to be more ready for the vegetables than for the chocolate bar, because the chocolate bar, the number 1, was easy for me, but the vegetables, I actually have a good top 3.
Could you just repeat the chocolate bar? Because I cut out for that whole bit, especially you went, I'm going to replace it with, and then I just died for 30 seconds.
100 grand bar.
100 grand or grams?
Like $100,000, but 100 grand.
What even is that, man? That sounds like not a chocolate bar.
Just gotta look it up on Wiki.
It's not a good chocolate bar if you got to Google what it is.
I have to Google half of the
It's
stuff.
like
that you
Googling
guys,
Tottenham's trophy case. If you
the
could Google it, it's good,
The European guests say.
But yeah, let Calvin know what your favourite vegetables are,
Across
because
the
this is
pond.
what he's really interested about.
Yeah, I heard top 3.
I don't
top
know.
3.
So I mean, so a lot of people have already said it, but my top is Brussels sprouts. I hated them as a kid, but since college, they're my favorite vegetable. I love butternut squash too, especially in a soup. Really good. But my third one is my mom makes a really good Chinese eggplant with garlic sauce. So eggplant's definitely my third.
Ooh, nice. I love that.
Dices it or slices it up, everything, puts it in the garlic sauce.
In China, this eggplant they open and they put it on the barbecue with the
Oh,
garlic also inside, and they scoop it. That's like the xiao kao, right? That's
I
like
haven't
the
been.
best,
I've been to China
yeah,
once, and it
really
was
good.
like 15 plus years ago. I want to go back because I feel like I didn't explore the cuisine enough.
I had it a lot. I can really recommend that eggplant on the barbecue. It's the best. So any tip if you go to China, eat eggplant from the barbecue with garlic. Very good. Okay, time for Embrandon's, your spotlight, well, actually not spotlight, your Meet the Moguls. So we're gonna meet. I mean, we already know you and heard a lot from you now, but maybe a bit about your background and your vision and what you think maybe about the future of MFL, etc. So first of all, your MFL story. Can you tell us a bit more about that? How it all started?
So cliche at this point, based on the other guests or the other guys that have been here for a couple of years, but I did join through Top Shot, as I kind of alluded to. I was a recipient of that infamous Dapper email back in summer of 22. Fortunately,
I think it
I
was
think
June 22nd, I think it was.
yeah, something like that. You got to
I think I remember
mark
the date.
historically in your
Yeah,
calendar.
no, in my life, really, mate. Not in a calendar, it's in my
I mean,
life.
that
It's
should be
embedded in
it
my brain,
should be
really.
on the homepage of MFL at this point, just based on a landmark in history. No, I'm with you there. But no, I came in. I think we had missed maybe one drop at that point, but then after that, I immediately jumped in. I was super interested because this project, like unlike Top Shot, even unlike a lot of other NFT projects that I've seen, or even just a lot of, IRL stuff. Like this is a perfect combination of a lot of the things that I enjoy in life, both from a career perspective, but also just like a for fun or hanging with friends kind of thing. So, I'm a market research consultant for my day job. So I do product innovation consulting specifically with tech and services companies. I've even done an NFT project before, which is crazy. I helped, one of the big companies figure out how to launch one of their potential NFTs. It's been really interesting to be able to tie my work life with my personal life and just the enjoyment there. But the other parts of, what really drew me to this is, and NFTs in general is I'm actually, as you two can see behind me, I am huge into the physical trading card market. And I think some people on the stream or in general late, probably saw my Arsenal box break, which, unfortunately I did not get the
Oh,
best
yeah.
pulls, from the Invincibles, 20th anniversary box. It was a commemorative box, limited edition. I have some really, really fun autographs from it, but, probably did not get my money back, but that's all right. But no, I'm big into the Pokemon market in particular. I buy and sell. I do local shows probably once a month, and I love the physical card market because it's just been a hobby of mine going back to when I was a kid and got packs, under the Christmas tree. But it's just been it's a nice tie into that particular hobby of mine too. So that's another piece of what drew me to this. I've never been an FM guy. I know, Jimbo, you saw me playing the demo at one point on one of the streams, which I
Yeah, I
thought was
remember that.
hilarious. You
Yeah.
called me out. I think I was in the car when I was listening to that, and I died laughing. But I've actually, up until that point, I had never touched FM. You happened to catch me playing it. But I've been playing a different sports management game for like 20 years or so. I play whatifsports.com. And it's very US based sports. So it's a lot of college sports or professional US sports. But it's very much like the sports management style of you're not actually doing any of the gameplay. It's not like FIFA or anything like that. It strictly is text based game simulation. And so a lot of what I love about this and what I love seeing the development of MFL is tied to what I know from that particular website as well. So it's been really cool, and I know I've like shared my love for basketball and things like that with Lucas on occasion, and so it's been fun, just like sprinkling in here and there some things from my experience in those types of projects that could lend to a successful MFL ecosystem.
So it's really like the perfect combination of everything you love into one thing. So that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. And also, of course, your passion for football, like being
Yes, being a huge Gunners fan.
Arsenal gunner. Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's funny because
How come you became a gunner?
So
Laguna, sorry.
yeah, no. So it's funny because I also like I didn't have access to watching soccer. Sorry, Jimbo.
Oh, you're getting
Growing
banned
up,
next time.
because broadcasting in the U.S. just wasn't here. So unless I had Gold TV, which I didn't have on my cable provider, I wasn't watching any games. I wanted to watch, but I never was able to follow enough to have a team. So, but coming out of college, my first roommate out of college, he studied in London for a semester, and he became a huge Arsenal fan. And so he got me into watching them every Saturday morning. We finally got the NBC partnership for broadcasting, and then I mean, since then my weekends every morning it's tied to the Prem. So it's actually been really sad this weekend not having that. I was kind of happy to see that there was the FA Cup game yesterday, but then I was like, yeah, but I don't want to watch these two teams. It's just Manchester and Manchester. I don't want that. So, but I was, as much as I don't like Man U, I was happy to see City not win that. So, all I can say is, I mean, Arsenal gave it a great run again. At least this time we didn't fizzle out. And I mean, I think we played as good as we could at the end of the season. So I can't be too upset, as unfortunate as it was. Man City, they deserve to win.
In loads of season, you would have been number one. So
Exactly.
like you still did a great job.
It would have been nice to have them win at the 20th anniversary of the Invincibles, though. That would have been really, really sweet to see.
Yeah, that would have
Jimbo,
been
you
nice. I
want to
was going
say
to say,
something?
yeah, my internet cut out again. So for the viewers, it's not apparent. My internet keeps cutting out because I'm currently recording from somewhere else, not my own place. So, but I think, in Brandon, you said the S word then, and just as you literally said the first letter, you froze, and I was like, the universe
It's
knew that was going to happen
the
and just
universe
cut the
has
signal out for me.
spoken.
It's like, nope, Jimbo, you're not going to hear that.
Divine intervention.
Well, just
Yeah.
just to
Took
make
over.
sure you hear it, soccer.
No, you're getting banned. I said that. You're getting banned from the Discord. You are getting banned.
You have
Please
the
don't
power
revoke
to
my
do
rights,
that, so
MFL
you
team.
you could do that right now as we speak.
Technically,
I
yes.
won't though, because I'll probably get banned myself if I do that.
All right. So actually, Brandon, could you tell us more about your strategy approach to the game? Are you a guy who keeps, let's say, loads of data? How serious are you about it, or is it more like what would you say about your approach?
So I'm super serious about my spreadsheets, as a couple people in the community definitely know. I share the my love for data geeking with them, just in terms of, oh, the Airtable isn't updated after 12 hours of a minting, so we need more data to see the latest players. Like in the Thursday drop, I packed a guy and the Airtable hadn't been updated yet, and I was like, "Where's my guy?" So it's been good, but I keep very close tabs from an analysis perspective on my own agency, but I do look at the full player list every now and then just to see, okay, what are the trends looking like? Where maybe some of those scarce positions or special stats, things like that. I mean, we all know Claire went for what Claire went for because of how unique of a player he is in this ecosystem versus the next best left mid. Um, but it's funny because then on the opposite side, I would say like, well, yes, my teams have done pretty well, I would say. I don't really pay as much attention to my tactics to the day to day other than just the regular management. I like the routine of being able to manage my clubs, being able to see who the next team is that I'm playing, maybe where I have to rotate my guys, or am I okay with, playing my best striker like Clough at 85% energy, because I need him to play, and I can't afford to drop those few points at the striker position. So those are really what draw me, but the market is really what excites me more. I'm a big guy in like the financial markets. I look at the stock market all the time, even though I'm probably novice at best, and I'd be better off just shoving it into some index fund or something like that. But it's fun for me, and seeing numbers and seeing how they change, seeing the psychological component too of how people operate and what they're looking for and how different it is across different strategies of entertainment value versus actual like monetary value. It's a lot of fun to see.
We got close to financial advice there, but you steered clear of that. But yeah, so you're not the biggest, let's say, on testing a lot of tactics or like running 100 friendlies. Then maybe use more a bit
I did when
routine
I
or
did when the fatigue first came out, just because I wanted to understand it. But as we've gotten more and more involved, and there's multiple things that factor in, and we know that the team continues to release, whether it's new formations, new adjustments, whether it's XG versus actual goals, and just seeing like where things need to be tweaked. Like there's just so many things that can change that testing and over testing in my mind just it's still a bit tough at this stage. And so it's just I'd rather let the team and trust the team move forward with what they believe is the right path for the product and enjoy it along the way, but not spend too much time focusing too granularly on it.
Yeah, I think it's a good mindset to have. It's sort of like, you can do the excessive training and all the you know simulations and all that sort of stuff to give you maybe like some short term benefits, but in terms of the long term, things are going to change so much between now and even next season or the season after that. If you do all those tests now, it will all change. So that's, I guess I'm in a similar boat there. Plus, not got the time to simulate all those games either.
yeah, we keep saying that always, right? Like you can test and then the engine changes the next day and you did all for nothing. So it's maybe better to not do too much and maybe focus more on the market. It could be interesting. So this a bit maybe relates to it, but we had a question for you and Brandon about like lessons learned. Like, did you learn from something from last season, and did it change your preparations? You said you don't test so much, but what's
Yeah,
some lessons?
no. So I mean, I think I don't necessarily have lessons learned from zero point 0.5. More so the just different priorities going into zero point 0.6. As I said, like I had a great zero point 0.5. Like my league play was surprisingly awesome in terms of how many cups I was able to compete for and actually win. And I mean, the fact that I got my first silver cup title as well as my first plat cup title, which I had been so close for so long. It was amazing to finally get it, but it allowed me some liberties of reprioritizing this season and focusing on actually Gaffer's Diamond team. And so, as I had alluded to before, I mean, one of the big things that I see is the health of the MFL ecosystem also relies a lot on the top flight. And I know that for a couple of seasons we were sitting at only 8 teams or 9 teams, and maybe we have the same top three here and there, but I just wanted to see a little bit more competition. So while we don't have promotion and relegation yet, being able to contribute to Gaffer's drive to find a new team up there and put it towards the middle of the table. I wanted to be part of that, and so I basically took. I think I have 6 guys on his team now, and so I know Calvo, you got one on there too. So I'm really hoping those first 3 games were just the warm up period, and that we have 15 more games to go to climb that table.
We're gonna cheer for him together
Exactly.
one time. But so it was very like more like noble of you. Well, it's that you really want Diamond to be super competitive, or did you also make like a tiny calculation? Maybe you can get more MFL. We talked about stacking. I just made a video also like calculating about stacking stone, and yeah, in terms of MFL, you're wasting MFL. But for you, it's more important like healthy Diamond League.
For me, everything before season 1, until we see the real reward system, whatever that might be, because we still don't know like what percent of what we have now is going to be the real reward system. Like everything up until then, in my mind, is just about the health of the engagement in our community. As much as I've accumulated so many points, like enough to buy a Lego pack or a few rares, I much prefer focusing on, just the engagement and having a strong team that I feel comfortable playing. Like I don't want to lose every week. Like that's just not that's not going to be fun for me. So I like knowing that I can compete at the level I'm at. But in this case, it was very much like, all right, I see an opportunity for a better diamond ecosystem than we had previously in not point 4 and not point 5. And definitely the second that Gaffer was looking to make a move into diamond, I signed right up.
Yeah, really great. Awesome move. So hopefully SV Volkskrone, no, what was it the name? The Berlin. SV Berlin.
SV Berlin.
Is from DAF, I think. But yeah, but let's see how it goes. I really like that you do this and that you loan those guys out. So we'll keep a track on Diamond. How's it gonna go?
No, that was cool. I was going to say, all this season will be the last time you ever loan players out to a club above you, because
it might be. We'll see.
You might be. You got to experience it first, right? No sacrifice, no victory.
I did have
Don't
a
knock it till you
couple.
try it.
I had a couple of the same guys actually up on Eric's Londinium team for a season or two. El Sayed in particular, I know he's upset that I loaned him to Gaffer for this season instead of loaning him back. But he asked to get rid of that contract in 0.5, and that's how I won the plat title. So I also can't be too upset that he reneged on that. So, but I'm sure I haven't heard the last from Eric on.
I'm really looking forward to season 1 when this will get so much more competitive, right? Who you're loaning guys to, and with the points, the high rewards, and the drama Jimbo has always say about promotion relegation.
Oh yeah, just a quick one, Calvert. What your one guy loaned out at Legendary? What contracts are you?
4%. Yeah,
that's about where I'm at too. I think I have some 5s and then some 3s.
I think that's fair. He's like a lower legendary. 4% is like the most equal cut if you have your max squad of 25.
I think I'm actually I think I'm at a point where I'm getting more rev share than Gaffer is for even owning the team. So yeah, no, he's been very generous too with his rev shares, knowing that yes, he needs to do that in order to build the team. And so yeah, I'm hoping that it pays off and that there's some good rev share at the end of the season.
So we love to speculate about the future, and we know some features are gonna be released soon or coming up. So what would be your dream one to maybe add to MFL, or let's say if you're in charge of the project, what would you prioritize right now?
I thought about this one because I have 2 in particular that I feel like would be relevant, and they're kind of different parts of it. One is like truly the game and the actual tactics, and so while I'm not super involved in my own tactics building day in and day out, I actually would love to have more advanced tactic presets. Maybe not in-game tactics like changing it at halftime like during your live game, but have the ability that if you're up 1-0, that you change to a defensive line and you're able to, actually implement that strategy instead of just relying on the same 3-back formation that you started with or something like that. So that would be really cool for me because I know that, especially in the game that I mentioned that I play, like that's a lot of what I do with some of mine where, my basketball team's like up big and, I need to slow the game down just to make sure that, the other team doesn't get too many chances. Like I would love the same type of thing here because that just allows that other dynamic and that predetermined way of thinking to come into play that isn't just, set one strategy and if it goes wrong, you have nothing you can do. So that's my like more tactical one. The other one, just from an engagement perspective, I would love if we could do more with like a stadium or fan user interface. So I would love for something related to live attendance and the fan chat, just something embedded in the website where instead of us going to the chat in Discord, and everyone kind of just throwing some stuff in there, if we get enough people who wanted to be part of the Diamond viewership and things like that, just having whether it's smack talk or just general comments on who's scoring or the engine's broken, whatever we want to talk about, that we're all there directly in the app and enjoying it.
I think I like that because I think a couple of months ago, I recall saying something along the lines of like, if you were to share on social media, share like the link to say the Wyverns playing or any other game, like it's a cup final, it's the final day of the Diamond League. Let's have a little count at the top saying like how many people are watching this, like on this match, watching it live. Even just something small like that. If you're Meta Mercenaries versus Gaffer's team, final game of the season, if Meta win, they win the league. If they don't, sort of thing. It'd be great to see like how many people are watching it live or something. Just something small like that, I think would be quite neat. But also a chat. I think we said this before. I think we might have to have it like presets of messages, so you just can't chat smack straight from the start. How there's like it's like good luck or good goal or something like that. The first thing you put in is like
Could get a little
GG, you're
dicey.
trash. Can't wait to whoop your ass. Yeah.
Or we'll have the Discord, the bot in there to ban everyone who's saying some nasty things.
Get wicked.
Wicked, exactly. Yeah. I couldn't remember the name.
I know the feeling of being wicked. I used to be all the time. Remember with posting?
I still think my favorite was when Gaffer was coordinating the Copa and he got banned for adding too many people.
Yeah, it's he doesn't know what's a good intention, of course, and what is some spamming. Well, luckily we have less spammers now, but Jimbo, you do a great job at kicking them out when they appear.
Well, yeah, MFL brought in like some screening or something, which gets rid of most of them, to be fair. So if not, we usually get tagged and sayonara, get binned.
Although some people are very sneaky, right? They're not really bots. They're just like, have you heard of Footium? And then you're like, yeah, get out of here. And then bounce them. Things like this.
Carver throwing smoke at Footium. That's
well,
what
actually,
I expect today.
Maybe if people are listening, I wanted to make a video of like MFL versus Footium and then really kind of trash talk them. Although it seems like an honest comparison. So if there's enough animo, I'll work on that in the coming days.
He wants.
Yeah. Could be good.
If you want a bit of farming engagement, you could probably get a lot of.
Well, that's what I noticed. If
sure.
you make videos of like this versus this, that's really like getting engagement.
Controversial titles get you clicks and views. Yeah. That's how.
Rule number 1 of the internet. Well, let's see if people react in the chat to this. Palmer, who was our last guest, he asked you something too, and Brandon. And he said, so when buying, scouting, or loaning, just like when getting new guys, which stats do you look for more? Maybe we can also, if you feel like it is, we can turn it into a Dirk dilemma. I prepared some Dirk dilemmas for you, and then you can give your opinion on it.
Which should I start with first, then?
Well, I'll tell. Maybe Jimbo, you can also play. Maybe you can debate and Brandon.
I'll play
Dirk dilemmas. So, would you rather have a striker with low physical but very high passing, or very high physical and pretty low passing?
I'd probably have to go with the high physical at the moment. I think while it's a lower contributor to the quote-unquote formula that goes into the overall, I think that it's going to continue to be an important part. Maybe at some point in the game, maybe we get some sub stats finally, and we see that the stamina actually is going to be meaningfully different. I kind of value that more than them being able to pass the ball from one side of the 6-yard box to the other.
Agreed. Couldn't give two peanuts about my striker as low passes. That's not what he's there to do, is it? Think of Haaland. He's absolutely awful when it comes to passing. Apparently recently it's also the same with his shooting, but want a little physical buff.
He's still got the boot, but
Yeah. Yeah, no, you need it seems very like rational that your striker needs his physical to win against strong defenders. Although if it's more like a I don't know, like a attacker moving around who gets a lot of passes from like the number 10 to then passes to another guy, more like a target man, then maybe you want some high passing too. But yeah, I think in MFL, I agree with you guys. I rather have pretty high physical than high passing for a striker. Okay, second one. Would you rather have a defender with low pace but high passing, or high pace and low passing? Sounds a bit similar, maybe. But
Which defender?
let's make it the
It has
central
to be center
defender.
back.
CB,
Yeah,
CB,
it's
yeah, CB, CB.
low pace on a wing back is tough. I think I gotta go with the passing. I as much as this probably isn't consistent with my own agency, I would much rather be able to pass out the back than deal with just clearing the ball every time because I know that they can't do it.
Yeah, I've probably got similar thought process in terms of my answer. If I want to play out the back, want that controlled team instruction, I'm going to want that high passing. But then again, I've played enough FIFA in my life that having a high pace centre back's never a bad thing. And I quite like playing high lines, so maybe a high passing, high pace would be good for me. But I'll go the other side of the boat on this one, other side of the pond. I'll take the European standpoint here. Maybe say a bit of high pace, even though that's definitely not a European viewpoint. But I'll go high pace just for the dilemma.
Yeah, I think I would also rather have high pace for the moment. I think I tend to buy more center backs with high pace than high passing, although high passing is really nice. But I also see it a bit, I don't know if you guys see passing like this, like simple passes should be always easy, even if you have low passing. Does it make sense? So if you have just
this is what I was trying to get at when we mentioned the goalkeepers and their penalties. How for penalties, a goalkeeper's shooting is half their rule. Penalties should be easy. So even if we've got a low shooting, you should be decent at penalties anyway. That was what I was trying to get across in 3 minutes that you've just done in 10 seconds.
Yeah, so I think about passing the same, right? Yeah, so if someone who's really amazing at passing, like a Beckham or something, so he would have very high passing. But super simple passes, all professional footballers can pass it from like between some defenders, like this boring play in the back. So in that
maybe not that 37 overall player that's apparently in the ecosystem. Jimbo, I got that question wrong. I was really
one of them, 137 ranked player.
37, yeah, probably for
I
him
should have known it too. I have a pivot table for that, and I should have known, but sadly,
you had
and that was the difference between
as
me.
well. You could have
it was the difference between me beating Yaks and just falling short.
So now you know. So probably that guy is not the best in anything. But yeah, it's great that we have different opinions on this, and so for Palmer also you see that different agents have different opinions. Okay, a CM. Would you rather have a CM with high dribbling or high defending?
The two stats I don't really particularly look.
You need both. You need both.
They're the sort of stats.
That's why it's a dilemma. It's you need both.
I put
a threshold. You need competency in both, but I would say defense. If you're running, unless you're running a 4-3-3 defensive formation where you already have a CDM, in which case then the other two CMs I'd be fine with better dribbling, but at least one of them in there needs to be strong.
Yeah, a good example of that 4-3-3 on about is a bit like, prime Barca under Pep, where you've got like your Busquets is your high defending, but your Iniesta and your Xavi are probably like the higher dribbling players, especially Iniesta. But yeah, I'd probably go for the higher dribbling actually, like a little bit of dribbling on my centre mids. But they're two stats that are they said they've got to be confident in them. And Brandon, I put like a threshold, in the filtering. I don't want them being lower than this, and then I'm happy with whatever those stats are if the rest of them match up. So I'll go high dribbling for me on this one, boys.
Yeah, I like Embrandon what you said about formations. Like if you have a 4-4-2 and those two center mids have very bad defending, your whole midfield is going to be so exposed. So then I would also aim for defending. In that 4-3-3 with the CDM, you could maybe have less, but then even still, I want them to defend pretty good. So I may be more tempted by high defending. I let the dribbling, like my wingers or striker, do the dribbling. So I think I would pass. I would pick high defending there. I have two more. Would you rather have a left back or right back with high dribbling or high passing?
Passing. Keep it simple. Passing. Nice and easy one, I think. High passing.
Okay, so that's not a hard one.
We're finally in
I
consensus.
don't care about a dribbly fullback. I care about a passing fullback.
I think also the last one I put, maybe it's not the biggest dilemma, but for like a fun thought experiment. Would you rather have a team full of people who are very bad at passing or who are very bad at shooting, let's say? So they can't shoot or they can't pass.
I'm trying to think of teams that in like real life match these two profiles. I think a team of bad passers would be like Burnley under Sean Dyche. Like they're not that great at passing because they just play like hoofball all the time, but they still get results. So that's a team of bad passers. I'm trying to think what's a team of bad shooters. Trying to think of what a real life team would be of bad shooters.
The only thing I can think about is just then the opposite of like which team is really good at passing, but then their shooting's like it just comes with it. And like that's like the historical Spanish teams. But like they were good all around. Like they won a cup doing that, so it doesn't really fit. I feel like I'd be okay with less shooting because at the end of the day, if you pass that well, you can pass it into the goal.
I was just about to say, yeah, pass it into the net.
Yeah, you can create
I'd rather have bad shooters.
Yeah, you can create such good chances that it will be very easy to score those chances with even bad shooters.
Versus the late years of Aubameyang on Arsenal, he was useless because we couldn't get him the ball. And then his time on Chelsea as well.
It's well, although I don't know if you guys agree, but I feel like in MFL, if you have a great striker of high shooting, that really makes a difference in your squad, in your.
Absolutely right now. That's definitely a pretty decent cheat code in my mind. I think it's definitely shown a lot of strength in some of the teams that I've seen, whether it's the preseason or Copa.
Exactly. Now, if you have a very good striker, that really gives you quite some results already, I think, if the rest of the team is. So in that sense, maybe there's a bit of a shooting argument for MFL wise, but I think in general you need better passes is better. So okay, so this was kind of a Palmer's question plus Dirk Dilemmas together. Brandon, do you have a question for our next guest?
I do, yeah. So I guess my question's more about squad size. So for your club, do you prefer to keep your team lean to minimize the total dollars or assets that you're putting into that team? Or do you like a larger squad to be able to use for more depth or ability to change and test formations? And I guess why also?
Okay, so it's more like squad building. Kind of how do you build your squad? Yeah, I think we talked about this before, like two approaches. Some people who want to be very flexible formations and other people want to be very good in one formation, have quality everywhere. So, and how do you rotate that? So, good one. Yes, I like it. I'm very curious about our next guest, whoever that might be, what they will say.
So, us three on here have spent multiple minutes deliberating and chatting about what today's hashtag should be. And we were going to go hashtag your favourite Pokemon, but then my internet cut out as I was speaking about it. So Calvin and Brandon made the executive decision on behalf of the Wendirtcast. So today's hashtag is hashtag Jimbo's Internet. Hopefully this comes across correctly and it's not cut out. I can see the two guys moving on the webcam still, so I think we're all good.
About the only time that your internet worked perfectly.
Oh, yeah. Cheers, mate. Yeah. Laugh it up, fuzzball, whatever. But yeah, I think it's probably an apt time to round off episode 39 of Wendirtcast, Meet the Mogul with Embrandon. First of all, Embrandon, thank you very much for coming on this fine Sunday. I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
I have. Thanks, guys. I mean, I appreciate everything you guys do. I know I tell you guys this all the time, but whether it's your streams midweek, the extra surprise stream midweek, your 6 hour game streams, but then also the fact that, I mean, you're 39 episodes in here. It's awesome. It's a great dedication to the community, and just we all are lucky that you guys are willing to put in the time and effort. So appreciate it.
Oh, where's my tissues, man? Where's my tissues? No, I really appreciate that. And also, I just wanted to give a shout out to yourself as well, because on Thursday you won the quiz for the 2 common players, but you said you'd rather have them raffled off again. So after this, I'm sending those 2 common players over to Dave29, who won them. So I just want to say a big thank you for that, Embrandon. Congrats, Dave. Awesome. Right. If you've not left a review or some feedback or whatever, or subscribing or following us, what are you doing? Go do that now. Otherwise, Yax will give you bad luck for the rest of season 0.6. Apparently, I've not done that myself because I've lost my 2 cup games since we've been recording. 5-2 and 2-1 in the last minute. So, without further ado, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you this time next week for an episode of the Wendirt Cast. Thank you for listening.